My comments today will focus on residence and citizenship by investment, which is known as investment migration, as a source of foreign direct investment to achieve growth. Henley Partners created the concept of residence and citizenship planning in the 1990s. Today, most developed countries have some form of investment migration program, and this number is rising as more nations realize the value of encouraging foreign direct investment and the immigration of highly skilled and affluent individuals in the escalating competition for capital, talent, and wealth. Today's programs serve as a mainstream wealth management tool for individuals and an alternative revenue stream for sovereign states. 19 of the G20 nations have mechanisms to attract inward investment in exchange for residence rights, and all EU member states have incentives to attract foreign investment from non-EU nationals. Most have investments program in place that provide access to residence or citizenship in exchange for investment via a clear, delineated process. Both highly developed and small and developing nations design and implement investment migration programs for the same reasons: to attract foreign capital, skills, and knowledge to stimulate their economies. Some of the direct economic benefits investment migration programs typically bring are growth in the real estate sector and construction industry, growth in the number and size of local businesses, increased liquidity in the commercial banking sector, overall employment growth, creation of new revenue streams, and an increase in tourism. These benefits tend to be cumulative and reinforcing, creating interconnected positives such as increased tax revenues, infrastructure development, better fiscal performance, and reduced dependency on debt and aid. Henley Partners refers to this dynamic as sovereign equity. Unlike traditional securities, however, investment migration programs do not increase the debt and deficit of sovereign states. Instead, they create sovereign and societal value by delivering a source of sustainable liquidity that provides monetary and fiscal autonomy. They provide an equity injection which can be used to drive economic growth, enhancing the lives of all citizens. Malta is a shining example of the capacity of investment migration to enhance sovereign equity. Malta's economy was weak after the 2008 financial crisis, but just years after launching its first program in 2014, had one of the highest growth rates and lowest unemployment levels in the EU. Between 2015 and 2020, Malta's individual investor program attracted approximately 1 billion euros in inputs related to property, investments, and contributions, 196 million euros in investments in government stocks, and 5.3 million euros in donations. Such results are virtually impossible to achieve using traditional public finance methods. Many investment migration programs also have features that are designed to enhance their attractiveness and therefore their impact. One example is used successfully by nations as varied as the UK, Portugal, and St. Lucia is the inclusion of a business option. Such options are often industry-specific, with residence or citizenship granted to participants who invest in commercial enterprises and industries to create jobs. Industry-specific investment migration tends to launch new projects that benefit all levels of society. Beyond the clear benefits to nations themselves, there are multiple benefits for investors as well, particularly those who acquire an alternative residence in a European country. Such an investment has many advantages, including work and residence rights across the Eurozone, access to world-class education and healthcare, ease of conducting business, visa-free travel in Europe's Schengen area, and more safety and security than in many parts of the world. More recently, and as Henley Partners' private wealth migration data reveals, the UAE has successfully attracted a large proportion of millionaires and talent to its shores, thanks to its investor-friendly policies and immigration initiatives that include the UAE Golden Residence Visa. By appropriately applying the framework of investment migration programs just as the UAE has, nations can build sovereign equity, attract foreign direct investment, and reduce public debt. Governments can use these programs as an innovative financing tool to allocate investors' funds to national or regional social, infrastructure, and development projects that benefit their citizens. Especially in Europe, there is a pressing need to introduce more positive migration policies, including and in particular for attracting international investors and talent. To achieve this, policymakers, supranational authorities, professionals, and investors need to work cohesively to channel the flows of migration for the greater good. As we move through a post-pandemic phase plagued by climate, economic, and security risks, it is clear that countries with operational programs are better equipped to weather the storm, as they have provided inflows of foreign direct capital that buffeted the impact of the pandemic and will continue to do so. Going forward, nations without investment migration programs will find themselves increasingly handicapped in the global competition for investment and talent. Thank you.